You can be an example. You can be a leader in anything that you're doing. And today I want to talk a little bit about staying laser focused on your goals and visions. Honestly, keeping it simple, talking about this one topic, staying laser focused on your vision. But what I want to do is I want to dive in, but I also want to share the notes with you guys right here. Got this link for you in the chat in just a second. Copy and paste that. There's some links if you guys want to follow along. And I think this is so crucial because I think that this is something that a lot of us do unintentionally by mistake. Now, if you guys are just popping in, my name is Pastor Susie. I am a streamer, but also the pastor of God Squad Church. And God has really blessed us to help us really develop and lead one of the world's first churches that is exclusively online, ours specifically being just for gamers. Now, we've got big dreams, we've got big visions, but how do we make sure that we stay on target? How do we make sure that we stay on vision? And I don't know about you, but I keep dreaming all day long, coming up with new ideas, new ways to do things, whatever it may be. But the reality is that although I have 97 different ideas, although you might have a bunch of different plans, a bunch of different ideas, doesn't mean that we can accomplish them all, and doesn't mean that we should do them all, because we've got to be willing to set one goal, stay laser focused. But it is so easy to become distracted, so easy to fall off course. But also, a lot of the reasons I believe that some people never achieve their goals are because they never were laser focused. And I want to talk through, honestly, some really 3 simple principles that I think will help you accomplish your goals and make sure that you're staying on target, laser focused, and vision. Going to use some of my personal experience that I think will definitely be a huge encouragement to you. So if you guys are following along in the notes, number 1, what is going to be absolutely incredible for you, before you can ever even dream of accomplishing your goals or your vision, you got to do one simple thing. You're going to have to define your goals and a vision. We're going to use some terminology that maybe some of you have never really thought about, talked about today, but you're going to need to define your goal. And what I mean by that is not just, I want to lose 5 pounds. That is a very, look what it says right here. That is a vague goal and a vague vision. What I mean by that is, do not make your goals so big, or do not make your goals so unattainable that you grow discouraged, right? So losing 50 pounds is a goal, but it's not a clear goal, because a goal not only describes the what, but it describes the how, right? Okay, what's my goal? Want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, how are you going to do that? I have a goal to wake up every morning at 5:30 in the morning and run 3 miles until I lose 50 pounds. That's a goal. That is clear. It's crystal clear. There's no room for confusion. There's no room for error. There's no room for curiosity. And there's no room to fall off track unless you just simply are not putting in the time to achieve your goals. I have a goal to practice Overwatch every single day, because within my big goals, I've got small goals. I have a big goal to become a professional esports player. Now, that's not my goal. We're speaking hypothetically. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wake up every single day, and I am going to practice my aim, my positioning, my communication. I've got goals that are describing my big goals. But here's one thing that I really want you to do in terms of your goals, your vision, is I want you to find something that's called, that maybe you've never heard this terminology, your vision and mission statement. These are going to be very, very, very clear on how you will determine your goals. Let me explain to you a little bit about what your vision and mission statement is. So we actually have one here at God Squad Church that I'll put on the screen for you in just a second. But we have 2 things here at God Squad Church. We have a vision statement, leading gamers from virtual life to eternal life, right? That is our vision. That is our what. That is our what. What do we want to do? We want to make sure that we can always give gamers an opportunity to hear about how much God loves them. So our goal can be God's goal, which is to spend eternity in heaven with every human being possible. That's our vision. That is the what. But you also need a how. God Squad Gaming exists to connect gamers to God by meeting them where they are. That's our how. Now, every word there is intentional. We exist. It's our purpose. It is our mission. It's not something that we just we kind of do lackadaisical. I mean, we put a little bit of effort, if it happens. No. We exist, which means we wake up every day with drive and determination that we're going to accomplish our goals. We exist to what? To connect. That word is intentional. Here's the reality. In this day and age, people have such a misunderstanding of what it means to be a Christian. It's not about going to church on Sunday. It's not about reading the Bible. Those things are great. God wants to connect through a relationship. Let me tell you, there are many people that talk nowadays. There are many people that have mission statements that this is what we're doing. But here's the reality. Many communicate, but few connect. Is there actually a connection going on? Is your heart being drawn towards it? Do you understand it? Do you fully embrace it? And that's what we want people to feel about God. We don't just want them to know about God. Well, okay, I guess there's a God in heaven. No, we want you to connect with God. We want you to have intimate relationship with God where you know that he loves you and you love him back. We are driven to help gamers connect. So what's the what? We are driven to do what? To connect in a deep, intimate relationship. Who? Gamers, right? It's the who. Gamers, we're connecting them to God. But how are we even doing that? I mean, it's clarity after clarity after clarity after clarity. There's no room for, okay, what are you doing? We exist. We're driven to do what? To bring intentional, deep relationship between gamers and God. And how do we do that? By meeting them right where they are. So what does that mean? That means that I'm not sitting in my room or sitting in a church on a Saturday night or on a Sunday morning going, God, please send gamers to our church. No. Jesus has not called us to wait around for people to come. Jesus has called us to go into all the world and to meet and love people. So we're connecting them by meeting them where they are. Can I tell you a large majority of where gamers are? They're on twitch.tv. So guess what we're doing right now? We're on twitch.tv. Because we're going to meet them where they are. But we have crystal clear, and obviously in that there's so many things. We got Squad Church, Squad Con, that there's so many things, but we are very, very crystal clear on what we're doing and how we're going to do it. Remember, in your goals and in your vision, whatever it may be crystal clear. Crystal clear. Do not be vague. If there's room for questions, if there's room for misunderstanding, if there's room for unclarity, then keep digging and developing deeper. What are we doing and why are we doing it? A lot of times people don't achieve their goals. They're unable to stay focused on their goals because they don't truly understand what their goal even is, right? Here's a bad vision statement. Reaching gamers. That's a bad vision statement. Why? Okay, how are you going to do it? What kind of gamers? Is it MMO gamers? Is it RPG gamer? Like, how are you doing so? Are you playing with them? Are you streaming? Are you making YouTube video? How are you doing it? What is your goal? You want to lose 50 pounds. Okay. What are your target areas? Do you have some muscle fat under your arms that you want to lose? Are you trying to, maybe slim your tummy a little bit? What are your goals? Because knowing your goals will help you to target your day-to-day, right? So if my goal is I want to slim the tummy a little bit, right? Which I do. I need to get better at it, right? What's not going to help me accomplish that goal? Benching, right? It's going to make my chest bigger. It's not going to make my stomach smaller, right? So if I don't have a crystal clear vision of what my goal is, I'm going to do things that aren't even going to help me towards my vision, right? Instead of bench pressing, I need to be doing sit-ups. I need to be running. I need to be eating healthier. If you do not have a crystal clear definition of your vision, then you'll never achieve your goals because you truly won't even understand what they are or how to get them. Can I encourage you? Develop your own, like it says right here, your own mission and vision statement. If you're following along and you guys want some of those notes, I do share these every single week. I want to encourage you, follow along in the chat with us. Number 2, real simple. Not only define what's your vision or your goal, but define what's a win for you. What's a win for you, right? So we've got these bigger goals. For example, for me, I'm going to talk a lot about my experience. We're going to talk a lot about, some of the things that I do to help you relate them to your life. So for me, we've got our mission, we've got our vision statement. But for me, what's a win? What's a win, right? So in those things, when I come on stream, what would I say, man? Today was a great day of streaming. Today was a great day of streaming. What do I define that as? Do I define it as so people laughed? Do I define it as people followed the stream? Do I define it as people subscribed? Do I define it as, we average a certain amount of people? What's my win? Honestly, for me, my win is that people came in and left the stream with a good representation of what it looks like to be a follower of Jesus. For me, that's a win. Why? Because that covers several areas of ground. That's a win. When I have someone who comes in for the first time or is here on a regular basis and they left the stream with a good representation of what it means to follow Jesus, that's a win for me. Why? For personal reasons. I want to represent my faith well. I want to undo the mindset that people think that Christians are judgmental and horrible people. I want to undo that mindset. But also, in achieving our bigger goal of leading gamers from virtual life to eternal life by meeting them where they are, if I can do my job as a streamer to have you come in and be like, hey, you know what? I don't really believe in God, but man, I really respect the way that you carry yourself as a Christian. I normally don't like Christians, but man, I really appreciate you and what you do. That's a win for me. Why? Because that's a step in the right direction. That's a step in them. One, if they know that I'm a man of faith, that means they got to hear about my faith, which means they got to hear the gospel, which means that I've undone some barriers and negative walls that they have about what it means to be a follower of Jesus. That means that they are exposed. The seed has been planted. They now have heard the story. It's in their heart, and now it's up to them to decide what to do with it. A win for me is not 75 people gave their lives to follow Jesus, right? That's a win. That's a great thing, obviously. But if that's my win, then most days are a failure. Because if people don't give their lives to follow Jesus, well, then today was a waste. Today was a fail. But that's a bad win. Why? Because seeds are being planted. People are being encouraged. People are being blessed. People who do not believe in God at all are watching the stream every day. But if they're not giving their lives to the stream, does that mean that we're failing? No. Every day is a win for me if people come in the stream and they got a good representation of what it means to be a follower of Jesus, because that is the first step to achieving the bigger goals. You've got to decide for you, what's a win? What's a win? Maybe you are, you're trying to get better at Fortnite. Maybe that's your focus and your goal right now. So what's a win for you? I didn't even win the game, but I managed to get 10 kills for the first time, right? Hey, I didn't even win the game. I didn't get 10 kills, but I'm getting better at my building. That's a win for me today. You have to define yourself. What's your win? And here's a tip towards defining that win. Keep clarifying your win until there are no questions left to answer. If you can say to yourself, what's my win? And then someone else goes, but what about this? Then you probably need to be a little bit more clear on your win. And here's the thing. Do not be afraid to reevaluate your win. Don't be afraid to reevaluate how you're accomplishing your win, but also don't be afraid to just change and reevaluate your win. Maybe your win's not clear enough. Maybe your win, maybe you're like, you know what, I need to take this a different direction. What is my win? You need to be willing to reevaluate those things. And for me, honestly, I'm reevaluating and changing things all the time to make sure that I'm staying laser focused on your vision, on your goals, achievements, whatever you want to do. They don't have to be business related. They don't have to be work related. Maybe they're just family related. If your goal is a better marriage, right? Do not make your goal to have a better marriage, because that is way too vague. What are you going to do? My goal is I'm going to make sure I send my wife a text every morning to make sure that she knows I love her. I'm going to make a goal that once a week, I'm going to take my wife out somewhere. It doesn't even have to cost money. Maybe it's just a drive looking around town at nice houses and dreaming big. Maybe one day, babe, I believe we can live in one of those houses. Maybe it's, you're going on a picnic. I have a goal once a week to take my wife out. I have a goal once a week that I want to try to get one win in Fortnite. I have a goal once a week. Those are wins for me. Define them and chase after them. Don't make them so big that they're vague. Okay, well, how do I get from point A to B? Because point B is like 97 miles away. It's so far away that I actually can't even see it, which means that if I can't see it, I don't know the pathway and the roadway to get there. Make small goals. Define your goals. But then also, here's one thing just from experience that I want to encourage you with. In being crystal clear and laser focused on achieving goals, do not fall into this trap. Do not be distracted from achieving your goals. Do not be distracted. Anything that goes on in your life or anything that's coming your way, you need to ask yourself, does this help or distract me from my goals? Does this help or distract me from my goals? Things that are coming in your day-to-day situation. Maybe it's different job opportunities. Maybe it's whatever it may be. We have a tendency, a lot of us, we have a tendency to say yes to stuff. If you're going to achieve your goals, you're going to have to learn to say no. This is hard for me because I like to be very nice and I like to be a people pleaser, but I've had to learn that sometimes I have to say no to people to be able to achieve my goals. Now, I've got to weigh the situation. Sometimes, obviously, helping someone else or whatever it may be takes priority because people matter most. But you just can't do everything. You can't do everything in the world to help other people achieve their goals because sometimes you've got to achieve yours. And you've got to be willing to say no to distractions. You've got to be willing to say no to distractions so that you can be laser focused on your vision. And here's one thing that I've learned from experience, okay? The world and the enemy want to distract you from achieving your goals, but sometimes that the enemy won't just use a bad distraction, he'll use a good distraction. He will distract you with opportunities that look really good, but actually they're just intended to distract you from your vision. Let me give you a personal story. When I first started God Squad Gaming, first started streaming, and God had really blessed me, and our stream was growing really quickly, and people were writing articles about us that were going around the country. We were featured on K-Love radio station, the world's largest Christian radio station, and I had begun to do a little bit of traveling to help in speaking to help people understand the vision of what we're doing. What's the purpose? What is it? What is Twitch? Why are we reaching gamers? And I had been doing that so much, and sometimes multiple times a month, to where people, they didn't just like my vision. That's what I need to catch. They didn't just like the vision, and I'm really humbled by this, but they just liked the way that I spoke. They liked me as a preacher, communicator, whatever it may be. They just liked the way that I spoke. So people started inviting me from all over the country. Pastor Susie, we'd love for you to come speak at our church on a Sunday morning. Maybe come speak about this topic from the Bible or whatever you want. Man, we just really love the way you preach. Will you come to our preach? We'll pay your expense. We'll pay you for your time. We'd love to have you. What a great opportunity. How humbling is that? What a great opportunity. You know what else it is? What a great distraction. I have a goal to sit in this chair and every single day give the story of Jesus to gamers who have never heard it. Pastor, God bless you. I'm humbled that you would invite me. But here's the reality, and obviously I don't say this to them, but if I don't come to your big event with thousands of people, you know what you're going to do? You're going to invite somebody else who's going to do just as good or probably even a better job than I will. If I leave this chair, nobody sits in it. And gamers do not hear the good news. At this point in time, there is nobody else at my level of influence sitting in this chair doing what I'm doing. So yeah, I could go to that church and I could preach and they would pay me and people would get saved and hallelujah. It'd be great. What a great opportunity. What a great distraction. It does not help me accomplish my goal of reaching gamers. It does not help me accomplish my goal of giving people who do not have another opportunity to hear about Jesus to hear about Jesus. So I turn down those invitations. Why? Because they sound great. But when the enemy wants to distract you from your vision, a lot of times he won't send you bad opportunities. He'll send you good opportunities because they look great. Wow, man, so you want to invite me to teach the Bible? Man, I love teaching the Bible. I'd love to come. Distraction. I have a goal. I have a vision. And I need to ask myself, when something comes, and ask myself, does this help me or distract me from my goal? Man, the money looks great. Man, the exposure, man, I could build a resume, dude. I could say I've preached here, in that country, this country. Just got a recent invitation to go preach in India, turned it down. Does not help me achieve my vision. And if I take every opportunity that comes my way, I'm doing a lot of stuff, but I'm also doing a whole lot of nothing. because I'm not achieving a goal. I'm building my resume. I'm looking impressive. I'm building a young career at a young age, but I'm achieving nothing. I'm not achieving what God's called me to do, which is to sit in this chair and to tell as many gamers as possible that God loves them. Now, of course, I take opportunities when I feel like God's like, no, you need to go to that, just because I want you to go to that. Then I go. But you need to ask yourself, are you allowing opportunities to distract you from your vision? Just because it's a good opportunity doesn't mean that helps you achieve your goal. And you have to be disciplined to say, no, this is great. It's a great opportunity. Thank you so much for thinking of me, whatever it may be. Sometimes you need to say no to something good so you can say yes to something great. And achieving your goals is going to sometimes require you to say yes to something difficult and no to something easy. Especially when I first started, I had 5 viewers. I'll be honest, it was really hard to say no to going and preaching in front of 3,000 people so that I could say yes to sitting in my chair and hanging out with 4 gamers. Man, that was hard. Man, that was hard. But you have to stay laser focused. You got to pick a direction, whatever goals or vision God's putting in your path, and just zone in on it. Zone in, which means that everything outside of this scope, of course, what I'm about to say does not include your relationship with God, does not include your family, does not include being a follower of Jesus. Everything else besides those things, outside of your vision, anything outside of this scope is secondary. Secondary. The enemy, in order to distract you from your vision, won't just give you bad opportunities. That's what we look at all the time. Well, I just haven't been able to, I haven't been able to achieve my goal because I've been sick. Then someone in my family passed away and it was horrible. And all this bad stuff keeps happening. I haven't been able to move forward with my goals and my visions. That does happen. But the Bible says that the devil is crafty. He's crafty. He's not just going to throw bad things your way. He's going to throw good things your way. Because even good opportunities that do not help your vision are a distraction. I want to challenge you. In your visions, you need to ask yourself, am I being distracted or am I achieving my goal? Last thing I want to mention, just because you are succeeding, it's in the notes right here. I'm going to actually put this one in bold right quick. Just because you are succeeding doesn't mean you are succeeding at your goals. Along the way of your journey and your vision, you might be succeeding and achieving something, and that success can blind you to realize that you're still not actually accomplishing your goals. Let's do a gym analogy just because, it's just easy to work with. You go into the gym, and like me, right, I've got to set this goal. I've got to lose probably like 40 pounds. I've got to lose to get back into what's considered healthy weight for me, right? If my goal is I've got to lose 40 pounds and I'm going to the gym and my biceps and my shoulders and my chest is getting bigger, I can be distracted. Man, Susie, I'm looking good, bro. You see these biceps? Bro, do you see these pastor pecs? Do you see? Bro, I am succeeding right now. I'm getting big. I'm getting buff. Man, I'm doing well. And the success can distract me to realize that I'm gaining success, but not in my goal. Because although my biceps, my chest is getting bigger, I've only lost 3 pounds out of 40. That in terms of what your goals are, that is not success. That is failure. So if that's my goal, to lose 40 pounds, and all I'm like celebrating, I'm getting buff, you know what I'm doing? I'm actually failing. I'm actually failing. And that's what we need to accomplish. And these are things that you've got to reanalyze. And if you're making steps and you're not achieving your success, you're not achieving your goals, then maybe it's time to reanalyze. Reanalyze. One of the things here at God Squad Church that we want to reanalyze is, are we actually achieving our goals of reaching people that are far from God, that don't know about God's love? Are we actually achieving that goal? Are our numbers going up? Is our stream getting bigger? Do we have 150 people at Easter service, which we did, which is a record? That is a record attendance for God Squad Church. Let's celebrate that. but are we succeeding in the areas? And one of the questions that I'm currently asking myself is, are we actually reaching people that are far from God? Or has this stream become a place for people who are already Christian, who just want a Christian streamer to watch? Now, that is incredible. That is awesome. And if that's my goal, then we're doing a great job. But if we have 72 people who go to church every Sunday, love Jesus, are following him faithfully, and we have one person that doesn't know God, then our success rate is a lot lower than we think it is. If we're not clear on our vision and we get distracted by other areas of success, man, the subs are going up, man, the numbers are going up, that's not success. You've got to go back to your goal. Do not be distracted by success if it's not success towards your goal. If we analyze this poll that I'm asking everyone to fill out, and we have 4,000 people, and 3,994 of those people have clicked, I already knew Jesus before joining this community, and 4 people clicked, I am now a follower of Jesus because of God Squad Church, then we're not as successful as we thought we were. That's the cold hard truth. Then yeah, we're growing. Yeah, we're getting bigger. Yeah, people know about us. That's not success. Because success is not measured by numbers. It's not measured by growth. It's not measured by money. Success is measured by how effectively are you accomplishing your goal. And I want to know, are we actually accomplishing our goal? So if every single one of you could do me a favor, because I'm asking myself this question, how effectively are we accomplishing our goal? Not how effectively are we growing. How effectively are we accomplishing our goal by connecting gamers to God who are far from him? So I've got a poll in the chat. If you guys wouldn't mind answering this question for us. Simple question. It's anonymous. We'll take you 3.5 seconds. Which one best represents you? I'm going to make this available for like a month straight. I was a follower of Jesus before finding God Squad Church. I am a follower of Jesus because of finding God Squad Church. I rededicated my life back to Christ because of God Squad Church. I am not a follower of Jesus. We still love you anyway. Will every single one of you do me a favor and answer this for me? You can only answer one per person. It counts and keeps track of your IP address. So even if you try to answer twice, it won't let you. So if you could, do me a favor. I'd love to get an answer from all of you. PJ, that is incredible. Please don't type it in the chat. Please answer the question because we want to keep the track record of all of these because we want to reassess and reanalyze how well are we accomplishing our goals? How well are we actually accomplishing our goals? I love every single person that watches this stream that's a part of our community that was already a Christian before coming here. That is a benefactor of what we do. That is a on the side benefit. We've got youth pastors that while they're working are watching the stream. That's a benefit. But if we do not stay laser focused on our vision, we'll go off track. Because here's the reality. If all we're doing is building a stream full of people who already know Jesus, already go to church, now that's a great thing. And if that's our goal, then we're doing it very well. But our goal is to reach people who are far from God. The question I need to ask myself, is our ministry actually making heaven more populated? Or are we just moving people around that are already in the kingdom? I used to go to this church, now I go to this church. I go to this church, but every Saturday, man, I love watching God Squad Church. What a secondary important message in my life. That's a great thing. I'm glad people are blessed by the messages, man. I love it. But that's not our goal. And if 95%... Algoscus, God bless, my friend. Good to have you in the stream. Hopefully you're doing absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate it. And welcome to the God Squad. I want to show you guys something real quick. That when I look at this poll real quick, check it out. I was a follower of Jesus before finding God Squad Church. This right here is incredible, man. Look how many people are blessed by our ministry. Look how many people are blessed by our ministry. I am a follower of Jesus because of God Squad Church. 3. This is in the Discord. This is on my social media. I've been blasting into my stream. If my goal is to reach already Christian gamers, man, we are killing it, dude. Somebody give me a raise. We are killing it. If our goal is to get people who are far from God to know Jesus, this is a failure. It's the cold hard truth. If you want to stay laser focused on your vision, do not be distracted by succeeding in other areas and not realize that you're not actually succeeding at your goal. Stay laser focused. Stay laser focused. I appreciate every single one of you taking the time to take a few minutes, listen to our life and leadership lesson for the day. Also, really appreciate you guys taking the time to answer that poll. Honestly, if you haven't already, go ahead, do me a favor and fill it out. We're going to be blasting this every day for like a whole month because I want to reassess. And now let me be very clear. Only reaching a few people for Jesus is not a failure. If all we had done until this point was reach one person for Christ, that one person is worth it. But if you're going to have a goal, the reality is you've only got limited resources. You've only got limited time. You've only got limited everything, limited manpower, limited volunteers. And if 97% of your time, money, resources, manpower, volunteers are being used to accomplish something that doesn't help your goal, and only 3% is being put towards, helping achieve your goal, your priorities are in the wrong place. Your priorities are in the wrong place. If your goal is to lose, real simple, if your goal is to lose 40 pounds, if your goal is to lose 40 pounds and you want a six pack, that's your goal. 97% of your time at the gym is spent curling biceps. You're failing at your goal. You're failing at your goal. And that is essentially what I want to understand about God Squad Church. How are we doing at actually accomplishing our goal? Has our ministry become a second church for people who already have a church? Which is great. I'm glad that people are blessed. I watch Stephen Furtick all the time. Man, I don't go to his church. And his goal is not to reach me, right? His goal is to reach people who are far from God. He's like, I'm not aiming to reach pastors who like my preaching, but if they like my preaching, that's cool too. But I want to know, how effective are we actually at achieving our goal? So I appreciate you guys taking time to answer that question. This matters a lot to me. This matters a lot to me. If I had 97,000 viewers and 400,000 subscribers, but was not accomplishing my goal, what are we doing? What are we doing? And so I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. Hope you guys were blessed by our learning life and leadership.